I will stop my musica. So welcome to our Empower Squad Hangout for Wednesday, August the 12th. And today I am going to be talking to you all about inviting, which everyone's favorite subject, right? Yes, that's why I wanted to get you pumped up at the beginning, because everyone loves inviting. Before I share my screen and kick things off, I want to just quickly touch on something, because I've had a few people say like, oh, I don't have any success, I'm not selling, right? If you honestly feel like you are selling, you really need to do some personal development, okay? That's number one. So I'm not gonna dive into that too much more. But the other thing I want you to think about is we are sold or selling almost every moment of our day, unless we're sleeping, right? If I wanna go for Cactus Club and Clarissa wants to go for sushi, one of us has to sell the other person on that concept, right? If I want to go away on a vacation one place and she wants to go somewhere else, right? We are in a constant state of selling. If I want my kids to eat more vegetables, I need to sell them on the more vegetables. Like, we live selling every single day of our lives, but it's how we're presenting this selling, right? This is an opportunity. It's not just something that we are selling in that sense. But a really good book, if you're looking for more on this, is Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone, because he talks about how every single moment of our life we are selling. So get rid of this whole fear about selling, because you guys, we do it all the time. What gas station do you shop at? Why? Right? You were sold on that gas station for some reason. Mine is because I collect points at that gas station. So something about it sold you on that. So just know that we are selling constantly. Today, though, I am talking to you about inviting. So can you guys see this okay? We're good? Yes, you see my screen? Okay, so inviting. So we are told to invite. We know that we need to invite, but what are we inviting to? Who do we invite? How do we invite? And here are some of the steps that have worked for me for the past 5 years, and hopefully will help some of you too. Just a very quick aside, when you are looking at your business activity tracker, and I did this religiously, I actually use my notebook now. I don't do it on here, but I have this here as a reminder for myself all the time, where I would score myself every day and then give myself a score out of 100 every single week to make sure I was over 85%, but also to look for the gaps. Because if you're on invite here and you've missed 5 days of inviting, how are you moving your business forward, right? It's just a great way to keep track of the metrics in your business. It's not about hitting 100%, it's about 85 or above, but you need to make sure that you are constantly inviting. If we are not inviting though, or connecting, then we won't have anyone to invite to. So choose your platform. So this is the first thing, because what often happens is people think, okay, so I'm gonna write a blog and I'm gonna do video and I'm gonna be on Instagram, but I'm also wanna put myself on Pinterest. And that's great that you have all of these plans, but you are spreading yourself far too thin, right? You need to solidify yourself on 1 or 2 platforms before you start adding in the other ones, right? Make sure that you are rock solid on those 2 before you go to another one. So today I'm mainly gonna focus on Instagram and Facebook. I do use an app called IFF something T. I can't remember. It's like if this, then that. So if I post on Instagram, then it goes to my Pinterest, right? So I don't actually have to manually post it on my Pinterest. So I set it up on my laptop, but there is also an app for it as well, where you can link it to some of your social media accounts. So if you're wanting to simplify, you can definitely push it that way, but I wouldn't spend a lot of time on other platforms. Lock in those first ones to begin with, right? So mastering 1 or 2, you need to stay consistent. Have you ever created New Year's resolutions and noticed how when we take on 5, 10, 15 things we accomplish, nothing gets done? Oh, I missed that part of the sentence. Master 1 or 2 at a time and then add on. So I'll be focusing, like I mentioned, on Instagram and Facebook. And before we get into inviting, we have to chat about connecting, because if you are not connecting, you will never have anyone to invite. So step 1 is connecting. You are adding friends on Facebook. You are sending them birthday greetings. You are sending them thank you messages. You are adding friends of friends. You are finding followers on Instagram that you resonate with, right? And message them. Do those things so you actually have people to invite. If you are not connecting, you're going to be, it's that expression, if you're not growing your social media, you can only pull, in one deck of cards, there are only 4 aces, right? So we can't magically get a 5th ace in the same deck of cards, which means you're going to be inviting the same 4 people all the time. So you need to be growing your social media. We have a ton of calls and trainings and things on connecting. So I'm not getting into connecting today. I'm only covering inviting. I'm going to make the assumption that everyone is doing the connecting and adding to their social media so that you have these people to then invite. All right. So Facebook. So when we think about Facebook, we want to take full advantage of the opportunities. So this involves posts in our feed, posts in our stories, and if you are on Facebook, so if you're not on Facebook, this isn't relevant to you because I don't want you to take this on because then you're going to be growing and connecting and all of that. But you can use Facebook events, you guys, and then you actually have something to invite to. So in your posts, we should be breadcrumbing whatever we are promoting and talking about that week. Christina has done great calls on that where she's like, okay, for this week, I'm focusing on coaching. So my entire social media is talking about coaching. And then another week, it'll be, I'm talking about my boot camp. And so her entire social media is talking about her boot camp. So you have to know what you're talking about. If it's coaching that we're inviting to, then your posts should be geared towards what coaching has done for you, right? Every single person is changed from the moment they sign up, whether you're in this for like 10 minutes or whether you are in this for 10 years. You have evolved. Something has impacted your life just because you signed up, right? So you're not the same human you were the 10 minutes before you signed up. If it's a boot camp, then you'll be talking about the fitness, the nutrition, the success stories, those sorts of things in our boot camp. So Facebook stories. So in here, I just put on when you go to your stories, you can add a poll. I use polls almost every single day in my story, because you want people to interact on your story. I actually don't use it in Facebook because I have, and I'm not recommending that you do this either. You should have one Instagram account and one Facebook account. But what often happens is when you turn your Instagram, and I'll get into that, into a business or page, it links it to your Facebook business page. So then you have to manually put your stories from Instagram into Facebook, okay? Into your personal Facebook. So that's kind of what I do. I don't actually do any stories from Facebook. I've never clicked on here and hit poll yet because I manually put them in, copy them in from my Instagram. It shows up that way. So you can put polls in daily. You can do things like try a free workout, want a free recipe, link to a free book. And by free book, if you are an Audible subscriber, you can send anyone a free book, their first free book, okay? This outfit or that outfit, strategies with kids, pretty much anything in life, just do your polls daily. Have something in your stories that people can engage on so that you have people to invite, okay? Facebook events. So I mentioned this just briefly earlier. Once you've changed your Instagram profile to a business or creator account, you are forced to, wow, guard dog here. You are forced to create a Facebook business page. And so this is where you would run any advertisements from. And from this page, I used to create events every single month. I did a minimum of 2 events every single month. All right, so you would go to your page. So here's my page, Free to Be Girls. You would click on events. So you'll see events right here, right? And then you have fun with it. You create what you want. So I did one for May 25th, Spring Into the Ring. I did a fitness coaching one where I actually did an event for our last team-wide sneak peek that we did. But you can do something similar to that. If you want to get people into like a coach info session, where even if you're just sharing the website, right? The Empower Squad website, you can totally do that because you have people then in a group. Spring Into Wellness was a boot camp. Health is Wealth was a free group. So March Into Me was a free 5-day event. I always had at least 2 a month that I was inviting to. Okay. Once the event is created, Facebook lets you invite 499 people to the events. I actually have almost 4,000 friends on Facebook. So what I did is I went through my list of friends and I put them into lists. So I have an A to C list where if their first name starts with an A through C, that it's called A to C friends and the D to F friends and the G to I friends and so on. Because then what I would do is I would invite to my event 1 month, I'm going to invite my A to C friends. The next month, I'm going to invite my D to F friends. The next month, I'm going to invite my G to I friends, right? So that I'm rotating through and I'm not always inviting the same 499 people. They're going to get annoyed. They're not going to see the notifications, those sorts of things. So that's what I would do if you use Facebook. All right. So it's an actual event that you can invite to. And then from the event, you then invite that specific list of friends. On all of our social media platforms, we want to know what we are inviting to. And this is where I get many coaches are confused because we have ongoing boot camps. So they're like, well, but where do I put them? Like, it's an ongoing boot camp. Don't overthink it. You're just wanting to have dates to run your business, right? So even though I had this Spring Into the Ring Facebook event that I invited people to, they went into my regular bod group. They didn't go into a fancy new group. I'm not making my life harder and creating new groups every single month for that. I did in the beginning, and it's a lot of work to get people moved over to the next group. It does keep the energy high, but it is a significant time-consuming event, right? So don't overthink it. My Fitness Coaching 101 people went into the team-wide sneak peek. So you just need to create these dates in your mind. So normally what I do now is the end of the month is the kickoff of my boot camp. So I'm kicking off a back-to-school boot camp on August 31st. And those people will go, when they get started, they will go into my regular bod group. All right. And the reason I pick August 31st is because then I'm talking to people at the end of the month all the way through, but I want the 31st week as like a prep week, right? So even people are starting that month. So I have that opportunity to push at the end of the month if I'm not at my goals, but then I also have new people I'm talking to at the beginning of the month to possibly get them in as well. All right. So that timing for me has worked really well. So you do not need a new group every month. You just need to have a time frame in mind of what you are inviting people to. Is it a free group? Is it a virtual fit club group where they will need bod or a challenge pack? Is it a coaching sneak peek group? When is the kickoff? And where will you be placing these people, right? So everyone should know, unless you're like a brand new coach, that we have the Empower Squad Health and Fit Club group on Facebook that all new coaches and clients are welcome into. All right, so Christina runs that one. She does the daily posts in there, and we all try and contribute as much as we can. So that would be the first place that they can go, and maybe there's a bod group that you can run, or you can run with someone. For my coaches, I actually invite their people. They'll send me their name and email address, and I'll invite them into our bod group. So that's kind of how we run it. So that's both Facebook and Instagram. Now, this is Instagram. So having constant stories to invite from. So some of you that are like, oh, hashtag duh, Tamara, I do this all the time. Some of you are not. I'm 45, and some of the people on my team have never used Instagram. So this is for them, right? Because I'm not going to be necessarily speaking to like 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, are pretty familiar with Instagram, right? For me, it was brand new. I was more on Facebook. So in Instagram, when you go to do a story, when you go to that first, at the top of your page, I should have put a picture of that. There's like a little square guy that if you tap on him, this will pop up, all right? And it does look different for everyone. I know some people still don't have music in Canada. I know some people don't have the DM me feature, because I do have 4 different Instagram accounts and all of mine look different, all right? But for the most part, you can do a poll. And I'm going to share with you just some samples. You can do a question where you're asking them. And the cool thing about the questions is you can actually say, like, if you've done a kind of call to action in your story, you can be like, hey, drop your email in the question so that you can email them, or drop me a message, right? And then it'll show up saying like their email address as their reply. So you can do that. You can hit the DM me in there as like or you can use one of these things. I call them GIFs. I don't know if that's the right word. I don't know if that's the right pronunciation of it. But if you don't have the DM me feature, it's cool to have the DM me feature because they just tap it. But you can also go into the GIFs here and search DM me, and there will be a little pop-up GIF that comes with it says DM me. I don't know that they would be able to tap on it, but you can also do a quiz, and it doesn't have to have a right or wrong answer. Yes, you pick an answer, you pick the one that you hope they're going to tap on, but maybe you want to ask them something like, what do you need the most help with? Fitness, nutrition, accountability, like, and then they have tapped on it, and it gives you people to talk to. And you want to do this frequently so that you have constant people to be talking with. All right? All right, so here are some examples. So in my story, I did, I'll try a workout in details, please. Now you will notice that I did not put yes or no. I will never have no as an option in here because I don't want someone to tap no. I want them to tap on an option. If they're ready to rock and roll, like over here, I have 75% clicked, I'm ready to kick ass. All right, I know that those people, their message is gonna be a little bit different. Whereas over here, I try a workout. And I'll go over some examples of just how I do it. I have the DM me, and I know that many people are not at 10,000 followers yet. So with this swipe up feature, what you can do is you can swipe up and link it to an IGTV video that you have done. So if you have gone on your Instagram and posted a video in your IGTV, you can actually add this swipe up feature to your stories, and it will take them to the IGTV video. All right, you can't take them to a website link or anything yet because you have to be over the 10,000 followers. So those are just some ways to have constant people to be engaging with and talking to. All right, so now coach versus client. So you now have posts from your feed, posts in your stories, and events to invite people to. The next component here is, do you want to invite this person to be a coach on your team or a client in your fit club? This can change during the course of your conversation, but have an idea ahead of time of how you're gearing that conversation, all right? So client conversation examples. So if I had done some sort of like post on my story, and I tend to do when I'm, or in my feed, if I'm talking about a fitness thing, right? So if it's an actual fitness post is where I would put like a call to action. Hey, I saw you, and I always put their name, unless I don't know their name, and then I say like beautiful or lovely or something like that. I saw you liked or commented on my recent post about whatever it was. Thank you so much for the love and support. It truly means so much. Out of curiosity, are you open to learning about our upcoming Fit Gym group? It's a group of ladies and gents all working on their wellness goals together. I have a free workout sample if you'd like to give it a try, and I'd love your feedback and possibly having your energy in our group, right? Make it sound like you. The other thing here is I always say, like, take the weirdness out of the conversation. If it's someone you don't know on Instagram, like, there's no issue. Like, I've had such great conversations with people when I say, like, hey, I know it's weird chatting with virtual friends, right? Like, I just take that edge off for them. In your story, and that would be based on an actual post. In your story, I saw your name on my fitness story, so I often invite off of my workouts, right? Thank you so much for the love and support. Are you looking to add any fitness to your life? I have a free set workout sample of the program I'm currently doing, and I'd love to share with you and get your feedback. Would you like to try it? So it's just a simple way, because then they're going to be like, oh, sure, I'll give it a try. Only send them one workout. Don't send them all 12 or 13 that we now have. Just one at a time, and follow up with them. Okay? If you've invited to a Facebook event, someone will click on interested, or someone will click on going, right? Otherwise, you don't even get a notification if they say they can't go. So, hey, I saw you are interested in my upcoming back to school boot camp. Yay, I'm so excited to chat with you more. Would you be open to watching a quick video going through an explanation form so we can determine if this is a good fit for you and your goals? Now, the reason I put that is because I make a video every boot camp. It forces me to actually get out of my head, get out of my comfort zone, get better at video, all of those things. I do know it can be intimidating for people, so you could do like a little PDF that explains what it is. Make sure it's like one page, nothing more, nothing wordy, really, really simple. And from that, you want it to, whatever the video is or the item is, if you've sent them a PDF, you want them to come back at you with something about their goals, right? So you want to finish it with like, thank you so much for watching this video. Now I would love for, the only thing I need you to do is reply to me and let me know, what is your number one fitness goal? How is your nutrition? And what are your thoughts so far? Something like that or what questions do you have for me, right? Because you want them to come back with, you want to finish with a question so they'll come back to you in the conversation. If they said they're going, then I say, hey, I saw you're coming to my upcoming back to school boot camp. I'm so excited to have you join us. We are kicking things off on August 31st with a prep week and then officially starting on September 7th. Can I send you all the deets so we can get you rocking and rolling with the rest of the squad? I also want to make sure I know your goals, so I'll have a couple of questions for you. Sound okay to you? Right? Super simple, but they've actually said that they're coming in the Facebook event, okay? Coach. So those were some like just examples of Facebook. And the reason I put this coach one in here now is because I want you to think of a couple things. I remember watching a training once, and I forget the guy's name, where he said, don't play God. Okay, you do not know what the other person is going to say when you give them the opportunity to join you as a coach, right? You have no idea. If Christina had only offered me the opportunity to be a client, I would have said no, because I personally thought home workouts were sissy workouts. I probably would have bought Shakeology off her, but I wouldn't have signed up for any fitness program because I went to the gym. I didn't want to add any fitness into my life. I taught so much Zumba that why would I want fitness? Like, I didn't want fitness. I wanted the opportunity to actually help other people, impact their lives, make money, right? All of those things. So please do not assume that you know what their response is going to be. Okay, so that's number one. And the other thing I put in there is, if you assume that you know what their reaction is going to be, you create that energy around that conversation. So you're going to turn them off of coaching before they've even had a chance to hear what it is about, because of even how you word it, right? The second point here is, I want you to think of everyone that you would like to travel with, every single person. And I know that we are in a pandemic and nobody's traveling and all of that, but we're not going to be here forever, right? We are going to be traveling again one day. Who do you want to go with you? Invite them. This is our sisterhood, our family away from home, our tribe. I had plans this summer, this is a total aside, where I'm in Canada and my brother lives in Chicago. And so my mom had booked us into Lake Tahoe. I was going to drive down with my kids and my parents, and my brother was going to fly into Reno with his family. We were going to spend time there. And then I was going to drive home through San Francisco and see Sarah and see Marlene and come back up the coast. Like, of course I'm going to see my family away from, right? So, and you guys have that family away from home as well. So invite them to that. Why would you not invite your BFFs to that opportunity? Offer everyone the chance to get the discount. What I normally say here with people is I suggest they try the products consistently for 3 months. And if it's working, we'll keep them as a coach, because then they'll get the discount. And if it's not working for them, we readjust and then they can just switch to client, right? Or maybe they don't order it as frequently, so it doesn't make any sense. And then my final one here is, and this, I don't know that I would have put this in here, except that we are in a pandemic, right? So if you have any friends in the fitness industry, now is the time to join. I was going to start my own fitness studio. That's where my whole free to be concept came from. I was going to call it Free to Be Fitness. And ironically, everyone else would have been free to be except for me. I would have been married to a place, completely tied, like time tied in this place. And I am so freaking thankful that I've been able to carry on with my Zumba online, but our business like just took off, because we can help people at home. We can help people online. And the other thing too is with like fitness instructors, personal trainers, things like that. This is something that complements what they do, right? So they can have their clients on a program between sessions and working on their nutrition, because most people think that they can out-exercise a bad diet. And that's totally not possible. So give them a chance to work in an industry they love and help clients in a different way. Okay?
Can I touch on that for 1 second, Sarah?
Yeah.
It's so funny. I recently became super good friends with my neighbor. Like, it's crazy. We're like now best friends. My husband's best friends with her husband, and she's a personal trainer and she has a gym and she's signing up to be a coach. You guys are all going to meet her because it's like, why wouldn't she want this as part of her toolkit? And she's just obviously met me and everything that I do. And I just want you guys to know too, I was going to open a yoga studio. I'm a yoga teacher. I'm a live fitness instructor. I thought about being a personal trainer, and I decided Beachbody over all of that. Every single one of those things, there's a reason I'm not in a yoga studio teaching. One, I would make maybe $25, $30 an hour. And in this business, I can make like $200 an hour, and I'm just getting started. And second, I don't want to be tied to a job. I don't want to be tied to a boss. I don't want to be tied to a studio. If I was to start my own yoga studio, I'd be working 100 hours a week in that studio. So there's so much freedom that comes with coaching, in addition to being able to help people worldwide that health professionals can't do just in person, right? So there's just so much opportunity, and I hope you guys see that. And like, I just had to add that in there as well.
100%. And the other thing too is, even people you come across on social media, if they're in the fitness industry, ask them how they're doing, because most people in the fitness industry are struggling, right? They are struggling big time. Gym closures, and how are they're trying to like create programs for their clients online. Hello, we already have that. So you literally plug your client into a program. So just think about that in the sense, I know from experience that it's intimidating, but you just have to put it out there. Okay, so the next one, coach conversations. Hey, I just started this fitness gig and I'm looking for friends to do this with me, as I know holding each other accountable to our goals is always so much easier when we have others to do this with. Would you be interested in more information about what I'm doing? I'd love to chat with you. Okay, so again, super simple. I don't feel like someone's barfing on me. And that would be someone that I kind of have already had a conversation with. Okay, so-and-so, I know you may think I'm crazy, and because I love you and we've been friends for a while, I hope you'll hear me out. I started this coaching gig where I'll be working on my fitness and nutrition goals while also helping others with theirs. And there are huge perks like traveling. So I immediately thought of you. Would you join me on this so we can do it together and travel together? I can picture us in our bikinis on the beach getting wined and dined, and would love to do this with you, right? So put that out there. That's your BFF one. That's the one you want to travel, those people that travel with you. And if you didn't just get started, don't worry about it. Just change the words. Hey, I'm so excited that you'll be joining us. One last question before I get your registration set up. Would you be interested in the discount on the product, or even potentially working the business down the road? There's no pressure to reach any quota and no penalty if you switch to client. I just wanted to offer you the chance, as I've loved getting a discount, and some members of our team stay with this status without ever working the biz. Okay, so that's one opportunity for a discount, coach. Hey, so-and-so, how are you doing? I hope all is well and you're managing well through these crazy times. I was thinking of you today because I started this fitness gig and I know you love helping others with their fitness goals. Have you ever considered moving your business to include online clients as well? Okay, so that will take off that kind of weirdness about it. Now, numbers. So inviting is a numbers game. And if you only invite 2 to 3 people per day, don't expect much in return. I'm just gonna say it, sorry if that sounds like tough love, but it's not enough. People. You have to put this out there to as many people as you can. And 2 tips for this are, give yourself a time limit. Maybe you do 15 to 20 minutes and see how many people you can invite during that time. Then try to break that number every single time, like a mini challenge to yourself. We actually have a kind of like an accountability thread with some coaches that wanted to just have that place to be like, okay, so this many invites sent, this many follow-ups, did my PD. That's all we use that conversation for, is to kind of check in on that. And I think that what I would like to do is like run a little mini challenge in there, but not for me to out invite someone else. I'm always trying to better myself. It's not about me sending more invites than so-and-so. It's about me sending more invites than I did the day before. Okay. Give yourself a number of invites you must send per day or per week, and then break that down. So with my schedule, I do all of my follow-ups 3 times a week. And other than like, if I'm talking to someone, like I have a client signing up tomorrow, so she's technically a follow-up. So I'm having a call with her tomorrow, which wouldn't be my normal follow-up schedule for this week. So I do big invites on the other days and massive follow-ups on those days. And that's how I've broken it down for me so that it works better. And this is the go for no thing. So I've always been a fan of this, where you literally put 100 names of no's in this chart, right? How many people can you get in a short amount of time to say no? And the reason that we do that is because a no right now just means not right now. It's a seed planted. They're going to watch you. They're going to see what it is that this whole thing is all about. They're going to make sure that you are showing up, because if we stop showing up for ourselves, nobody's going to trust us, right? So they want to make sure that you are showing up as well. So just know that it is a seed planted in there. I think that was it. So yes, you can. Remember, have dates in mind. Assume that everyone wants information. Invite your friends and family. We don't have anyone to invite if we don't connect. And track your conversations, because we can follow up. And no only means not right now. So that's all I have for like the presentation. I didn't even look at the chat. Oh, you don't have music? Okay, so I wasn't even looking at the chat there. So yes, there's the website there. And then if anyone has any questions, feel free to hop off and we can definitely go over that. Thanks for being on, everybody.
That was awesome.
Thank you. It forced me. Inviting is the hardest one for me too. So.
Well, I definitely wanted to add, like, so just Tamara, how many months have like you and Clarissa been in Success Club? I never know the exact month.
Okay, so 66.
Okay, so 66 months in a row, they've helped at least 3 people, sometimes even up to like 20 people. Like, they're changing hundreds of lives, her and Clarissa as a team.
Yeah.
And like, that is from consistent inviting. Like, there is no one better to do this call than because she has hit these goals every month. And it's not a matter of just like presenting it in front of one person. It's about creating little systems like the activity tracker where you can just touch on a few people's lives every day. And the 3 buckets, I feel like there's so many buckets, but the 3 main buckets is you connect with people, you're building relationships, you're being friendly, you're making those connections, you're complimenting people, you're following people, you're saying happy birthday to people, you're just connecting. And then this is the inviting part. This is the part that like rarely anyone does. And it's the most important part. Like, inviting is the only thing that's going to grow your business. I'm going to tell you right now, your post on social media, you reading that awesome book, you working out, that is not growing your business tangibly. The only thing that is actually bringing a human into your business is the invite and that conversation. So your goal is to have as many conversations as possible. And I can tell you straight up, I try to have as many conversations as possible, like every day, with people I meet, with people online, with anyone that I can plan to see. And then the last bucket is the follow-up, where you go back to everyone you invited and you just check back. Yeah. And I like, it's the perfect definition is just planting seeds, planting seeds, planting seeds. And it may feel so intimidating to hear like, oh, all these conversations that go to no, but just know right around that corner, that flower is going to freaking blossom, like Tamara or like Marlene or, you know, any one of you, even Katyasha, who just signed up like 2 months ago, and you see them just like start to have a transformation and they're getting healthy and their kids are impacted and then their kids are eating healthy and then their husbands are getting healthy. And you're like, oh my God, like I changed someone's life. So it's worth the no's. Don't be intimidated by the no's. The reason you have so many conversations is because this is business. And I just want to add too, if you had a yoga studio, if you are a personal trainer, if you are growing any type of business, hairdresser, you are passing out cards. And only 1 in 10 of those businesses come in too. It's the same with all business. Not everyone signs up right away. So as soon as you can wrap your head around like, no's are great. Like I am going for no, like I'm going for the conversations because I know eventually that person's either going to come back, that person's going to be re-inspired, or that person's going to start saving up and coming back in the future. So it's always just like a not right now.
And I seriously do not stop following up with someone until they sign up or they block me. Right? Like, honestly, it's one or the other. They're either going to join me down the road and I'm following up with them every month and a half, or they're going to block me. And it wasn't meant to be. So just keep going.
I'm going to say something, although this is not my call to lead. Tamara is not mentor coach, but because we're a team, what's awesome is we can all bounce each other. We can all bounce off of each other. And Tamara gave me some of the best advice I could have heard in my last 2 years of coaching. I'm actually working towards hitting a goal, and inviting has been, I don't know what it's been the last few days for me because my outside life is crazy too. But Tamara said to me, just take the weirdness out of it. Because I started getting gnarly about inviting, like, do you want to join my group? Are you into coaching? Do you do fitness? Are you? And I dropped a message yesterday to somebody, and I remembered Tamara telling me, take the weirdness out of it. And one of the main questions, or one of the first questions people always ask is like, well, what do I need to do to join, and how much does it cost? Right? That's always like that yucky, weird question. So I basically told her in order for her to join, she had to give me her firstborn kid, and then maybe we'd consider helping her get a transformation. So it took the weirdness out, and all of a sudden now we're having a conversation. She's like, I'd gladly give you my freaking firstborn. You know, so it, like, I had to, like, it, I mean, Tamara had to, like, I've been 2 years, you guys, and sometimes you just lose your shine, or you get so focused. Another thing I want to say is I used to be scared to talk about price, right? Everybody has like price objections. Right now, we have one of the fattest challenge packs on earth. So when everybody asks me how much does it cost, I say, before I tell you how much it costs, let me just tell you what you get. So I go over our stuff first, like you get a group, you get meal plans, you get me, you get this and that. And then I go down this rabbit hole of everything in the challenge pack. I'm like, then you get containers, then you get a shaker cup, then you get bod ropes, then you get 30 days of this, and you get 30 days of that. And if you like it, you can keep going, and I can keep going too. And then I'll put drum roll, ... all that for 150 if you have a code to share with them, or 160. And then they're like, what the hell? And I'm like, yeah, less than that purse, or less than those tennis shoes you're looking at. Or my brother's friends are like macho dudes. And I'm like, yeah, less than those stinking compression shorts you're trying to wear for your little stick legs, you know, like, it takes the weird out. So Tamara, just thank you for that advice, because I don't think we've said it out loud to people. So I don't know if you want to elaborate.
Yeah, I just think it's so, we all are here because we love this business, right? And it's going to impact our life in so many different ways that we're not really aware of until you look back and you're like, holy shit. But you have to have fun. You have to find the joy in what you're doing, and know that I'm not just selling someone something, right? I'm providing them with something that truly can change their life. And if you love it that much, when you love it that much, it's easy to then be like, take the weird out of the conversation. And obviously Marlene isn't going to say to everyone it costs you your firstborn child, but it's just something that takes that edge off, right, of the weirdness. Because I get the messages about buy my candles, and can you get some lipstick, and and I'm like, have you seen me? Like, I haven't worn lipstick out in like 2 years. Why are you trying to sell me lipstick? Like, I wear eyeliner and mascara. That's it. If you have good eyeliner or mascara, sure, I'll talk to you, but don't try and sell me any freaking lipstick. Like, so we all get those messages and they feel weird. So just take that weirdness off and have fun with the conversation. The people that are meant to be in your life and meant to be there with you on this journey are going to stay, right? The ones that aren't, bless and release, let them go. They're going to go try some Herbalife shit and realize that it's really, really bad for you. Sorry, but I did research this week on what's in Herbalife and I almost had a heart attack. So it's like, yeah, I'm really happy that we have Shakeology. So
I want to just add one little thing. I feel like you already mentioned it, but just to like circle back that like you should be really inviting people that are liking your stuff or following your stuff or on your page. So you're not like, I did this. I've done every type of inviting you could imagine. And I swear I've done it all. I used to send like 200 mass messages a day to strangers on hashtag Nike Girl every day. Like I literally have done the mass creepy hey girl messages and I realized it didn't really work. So learn from me, don't go to strangers and invite them. You want to actually build your page, your platform. So your Instagram, you want to grow who's liking your stuff, you want to grow who's watching your stories. The connection funnel is so important. That's how you're bringing new people in. So not counting on just those 4 aces. You want to be adding new people every single day on social media. If you're not doing that, you're going to run out of people to invite real quick. So that's why it's so important you're doing the connection funnel. Once you get to people liking your stuff, that's who you're messaging. So it's not weird after like 100 people just liked my transformation pic. It's not weird for me to say, hey girlfriend, thank you so much for loving my transformation journey. Are you working on any health and fitness goals right now? It's not weird. Why is that weird? She liked my transformation post first. So that's why you want to grow your social media likes, your follows, and then you reach out to those people. And if you're like, okay, only 5 people like my picture, you need to spend more time, the connection funnel. Don't miss that part too, right? So I always like, that's what takes the ickiness out from me is I'm like, they're in my world. They are in my realm. They've already showed up and watched my stories, so they've kind of opened the door themselves. And I'm just going to be the professional fitness expert that's swooping in and making sure I can help them with anything, right? So, yeah.
100%. The funnel.
And then the last funnel, it's so important. You're keeping these people's names once you've invited them on a piece of paper or somewhere, tracking them so that you can do the last funnel, which is the follow-up. And the fortune is in the follow-up. They don't say that for no reason. It's because you have to follow up a few times, usually before they'll actually say yes.
One thing, like I know people we were talking about the other day. So I'm like a Google Streak master. I love Streak. I use it for everything. It is so time consuming to set up though. So please do not feel like you need to set up Google Streak. One thing that I think works brilliantly because Christina has like an awesome paper and pen method that just makes me want to shoot myself. I can't do it. I can't. I love it. It's beautiful. And I would feel like I was constantly rewriting and crossing and rewrite. And I'm like, I haven't even done anything with this list. I'm just decorating my paper. So one thing you could do is you can open up your calendar and put in your follow-ups, like have follow-ups scheduled for like every day, or if you're going to do them every day, and put those people's names in your calendar, right? So that you have them somewhere that you're actually doing it. Or have a note in your phone of where you're actually keeping their names. So know that you can work on systems and that it will probably take you a while to figure out a solid system, but make sure you have somewhere that you're putting those names. Once they're engaging, you're not just randomly like writing people's Instagram handles or Facebook names until there's an actual conversation going on. So, yeah.
And just an idea, because it just came to mind. Let's say someone was like, oh, you're like, how are your fitness goals? Or are you working on any fitness goals? And they're like, yeah, I just started at the gym, or I just started an online bar class. Be like, that's so awesome. Put that on your follow-up, and next week be like, how's that bar class treating you?
Yes.
And like, just bring it back up. Or how was your wedding? Or how, like, there's little, like, if you have a genuine conversation, like, I know me, I have to write stuff down or else I'll forget. Like, I'm baby brain, I'm breastfeeding, I got the other kid homeschooling, like, so write these little things down, take little notes, like on this day, I'm going to do that. I actually even do that for my customers. All my customers that sign up, I put a reminder in my calendar 3 weeks later to follow up with them to check how their Shakeology is, remind them it's about to come out or that they can switch flavors. And you can also use that opportunity to flip them to a discount coach. So I've always done that 3 weeks after my clients sign up too. So just little reminders and creating those little systems.
Yeah.
Make sure to go back.
100%. Can we get a picture before?
Yeah. Sorry. Christina just made me think about something that I do with new clients. When I do my follow-up, something that I always end with is, if you know anybody that wants to do this along with us or with you, right? Because they need it's, you know, I'm kind of a stranger still in their mind. They have like a best friend they want to do it with. It it's it's kind of a baby seed. It's not a real seed, but it's a baby seed because it's already like 2 or 3 degrees separated. But at least in my mind and in my heart, I'm doing due diligence to try to spread the vibes. So just
Sure.
something to think about.
Yeah, and besties working out together always have more success, right?
Well, okay, Marlene, I have to add, because you didn't mention this, but she would potentially be like, oh, you know, if you ever want to do it with your workout friend or whatever, let me know, we can get you started together. But what Marlene's actually been doing is she's been planting that seed, and then that person in the future becomes an emerald because they end up becoming a discount coach, and then they sign up their friend as a discount to get the discounts. So she's actually popping emeralds by just planting the seed if you have anyone that wants to do this with you. So just an idea, like how you didn't fit it, say all of that. So that's just like genius. That, and another thing you could do with that is say like, oh, if your girlfriend signs up, you each get a $10 Starbucks card. That's something I've done too, just to be like, instead of 1 challenge pack, now you've sold 2. So.
We do photo?
Yes.
Photo?
I had Energize and coffee both on my table. Squad goals.
Yeah, 100%. Thanks for being on.
Thanks, Tamara. That was awesome.
Yeah, thank you. It was very, very good. We good? Everyone had any questions? No? Okay, much love. Now go kick ass and invite a whole bunch of people. 100 people in your Go for No. And the Go for No is in the file section, right, of the Empower Squad group. So if you need one, copy, it's in there. All right. Much love, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.